Lawmakers and the Nigerian liquefied natural gas are still drawn in a protracted fight over a $4.3 billion project. The 10th National Assembly is 1 year and the lawmakers have been under the spotlight as their representation is assessed. And later on the program,
it's not all about bringing bills. You can make up bills. You can have 1,000 bills and none is good enough for the country, for the president to assent to. It doesn't make any sense.
The Chairman, Senate Committee on Finance, will talk to us about 1 year of the 10th Senate. This is the Hello Chambers on TVC News. I am Tijesu Adoyi. There's still controversy around the National Assembly's probe of the Nigeria LNG Project 7 as lawmakers insist on getting more details and clarifications on the $4.3 billion gas project. The lawmakers queried the project contractors for their deliberate failure to provide relevant information when they appeared before a joint session of the Committee on Gas for an investigative hearing at the National Assembly. There was a large turnout of lawmakers at the investigative hearing as even non-members of the committee joined in the probe that ended in a deadlock. Now the lawmakers have resolved to make a formal request for the necessary documents and information from the management of NLNG.
Most of the variations have come from regulatory changes and what have you. In principle, we tried to put in a contract such that it's EPC and the whole responsibility of delivering this project is by the contractor, and we try not to intervene at all. So by that, there are limits or there are limitations in respect of creating variations. This is a principle that we are guided and we try to deliver projects, and this is what we've done.
The number of workers and their compliance with local content?
I do, sir.
You do?
Yes, sir.
So you are responsible for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So documents were submitted to the local content committee that contradicts your position.
They have underemployment 7,000 people, about 7,115 or so, and that you have about 500 expatriates. So maybe you have not taken a look at these documents.
No.
So maybe you don't know. Probably your team should show you.
No.
Do they all have valid permits? And are we sure that they have not extended or abused their permits?
It is 1 year already since the 10th National Assembly was inaugurated. In this report, my colleague Joke Adisa gets different views and opinions on how the National Assembly has fared.
On the 13th of June, history was made when an unassuming, humble and three-term member, Abbas Tajuddin, was unanimously elected as the Speaker of the 10th House.
I, Abbas Tajuddin.
He took the oath of office along with his deputy, Benjamin Kalu, with a mission to make a remarkable impact in the lives of the people.
Honorable colleagues, our responsibilities as lawmakers require diligence, probity, transparency, dedication, and commitment to national interest.
The 10th National Assembly recorded the highest turnover of experienced lawmakers, as more than 70% of the 360 members of the House are first-timers. The leadership admitted it was a major challenge and set out on a capacity-building journey. Delta State lawmaker Francis Wahibe is the chairman Committee on Rules and Business. He says the House is beginning to see the reward of the many training and retrainings of the last 12 months.
About 80% new members coming into Parliament. But it's been a very exciting time. Mr. Speaker, the Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, he took the bull by the horn. First, to deal with the issues of capacity, since we had lost a lot of experienced members. So there's been a lot of trainings, both as a House and at committee levels. and that is beginning to yield fruits.
He says in the last 1 year, the House has considered more than 1,500 bills. Out of these, 1,008 await second reading, 88 are before standing committees, 69 await consideration, while 10 bills have been consolidated. 679 motions have also been passed, majority of which deal with the nation's security challenges. The House unveiled an 8-point legislative agenda in November 2023. The working document speaks to priority areas representing the vision and mission of the House, with a target to align with the renewed hope agenda of the executive.
I've just told you why.
Ezenwa Nwago is the chairman Partners for Electoral Reform and a public affairs analyst. He shares with me his perception of the 10th National Assembly.
Really happy that the adversarial disposition that a lot of people think about the National Assembly, I mean the legislature, in terms of its relationship with the executive, there seems to be more cooperation. There seems to be more principled cooperation, in my view, than what it used to be. And I qualify it as principled because we are not seeing all those unnecessary struggle for, territory.
Beyond these, controversies have trailed some of its oversight functions. The latest is when some members of the Haddock Committee, which investigated alleged job racketeering in government agencies, were accused of corruption. Allegations of graft were also leveled against some members by Binance, though the leadership of the House rose stoutly in defense of its members. These parliamentary reporters also give their assessment of the performance of the 10th House and the challenges ahead.
Any seconder?
I can say compared to the other assemblies that I've covered, this 10th assembly so far, I've seen their effort. You understand? Unlike in the past whereby you say that new lawmakers are not prone to moving motions and bills.
But I'm not really satisfied with their attendance to plenary. If you study them very well, you realize that we've not really had, apart from on the day of inauguration and the day the speaker announced committees, we've not had up to half of them or more than half of them attending plenaries. And plenaries is where you carry out one of the major functions of the National Assembly, which is lawmaking.
Let's go on a quick break. When we return, I'll introduce my guest. Let's get straight into a conversation with the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, Senator Mohammed Sani. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
It's 1 year already in the life of the 10th Senate. How has the diversity and other peculiarities helped shape the parliament?
The 10th National Assembly, I think we have now settled down to work, and we are doing as we expect the Assembly to be moving under the able leadership of the Uncommon Senate President, Senator Godswill Obot Akpabio, GCON. He has been able to stabilize the National Assembly and particularly the Senate, because most of the things that we are doing now is in line with our legislative agenda, which already we have met all the inputs, and we're looking at every page on it and we're working on it. So the National Assembly is doing very well, and we've been able to stabilize, and you can see a lot of things that have been going on. We have been given the executive all the necessary support to be able to achieve. We're not just doing it because for the executive, we're doing it for Nigeria. Because look, National Assembly is one segment of governance in this country that is very important, and our roles are very pertinent in seeing that this country move forward. So anything, any obstacle from our own side will definitely affect governance in this country. So I think by virtue of what is going on at this moment and the expediency of this period, exigency of this period, you can see that I can say that at least averagely we're doing very well.
You're one of the senators with the highest number of sponsored bills in the life of the 10th Senate, but about 24 others of your colleagues are yet to sponsor any bill. Is that not an indication of a poor performance?
It's never an indication of poor performance, because every senator contributes to debates, contributes to motions, contributes even at the position of where resolutions are taken. So every contribution that each individual is making is a contribution to the country. So it's not all about bringing bills. You can make up bills. You can have 1,000 bills, and none is good enough for the country, for the president to assent to. It doesn't make any sense. But if you look at it, we have been able to pass about 24 bills. Most of these bills, executive bills, and because of the urgency, and you can see it's a transition period we were between the last administration and this administration. So I don't think it's fair enough for anyone to judge us within 360 days to saying, 24 have not performed or 24 have not been able to present a bill. It doesn't necessarily be like that. And you can see the timing we have had within this period. We've taken a lot of our time screening appointees for the executive, and these have also taken a lot of our time in terms of doing our legislative functions, especially when it comes to private bills or senators bringing their bills before the Senate. But in any case, I will tell you that the performance, I have said earlier, we are performing very well, and I believe that we will continue to even improve on what we have done in the last 360 days and make sure that Nigerians get the value of what this country is supposed to have. And in terms of legislation, we will do everything possible, not only to support the executive, but also to make sure that everything is working in this country.
There's obviously a cordial relationship between the executive and the legislature, but this has made some people to describe the National Assembly as a rubber stamp. What is your take on this?
I was in the 9th Assembly, and I've had when the press call the Assembly rubber stamp or what have you. When you are talking about rubber stamp, your rubber stamp will bring achievement, will bring development to the country, be it. But let me be honest with you, there is nothing like rubber stamp in the legislature. Everyone has a say. It is a bicameral legislature that consists of different individuals elected from different platforms. So if the opposition will now sound to saying, it's a rubber stamp, that means they're also part of the rubber stamp. We have LP legislators, we have PDP legislators, we're all Nigerians, come on. So supporting executive to achieve something for this country, I don't see it as anything that should be looked as being inferior. No. We have seen a cordial relationship existing between His Excellency the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and a good relationship with the leadership of the National Assembly, the Speaker, and our Senate President, His Excellency Godswill Akpabio. There is good relationship, and that is what every administration will aspire to, because it's inspiring, especially for Nigerians to see that there is a working relationship. The synergy between the two arms of government is going well. And with that, we'll be able to at least see how we can prosper. But when people are talking about, especially the press, saying rubber stamp, I don't understand. Define rubber stamp for me. What do you mean by rubber stamp? I mean, are we not doing what we're supposed to do? Is it always good for the legislature and the executive to be seen quarreling all the time? You want the period of Buhari and Saraki to come back, where the budget will not be passed until June, July? You want a situation where a chief executive of an agency, just because of personal issues, will be refused clearance? Or you will see that a period where names of nominees will be given, and then the Senate will hold back to saying, no, because we are not in good time with the executive, we will not act? We have gone past that period.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
As the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, I believe you can speak competently about the state of the economy. It has been a roller coaster for many Nigerians, you know, with the state of the economy biting hard for some. How can you advise Nigerians to keep hope alive?
When you look at the Nigerian fiscal and monetary policies in the past, you will see a lot of changes going on at the moment. We have seen a period where the economic policies of this country were not working and nothing was done in order to make them to work. We have seen how the economy nosedived. But what did we do? Instead, we returned to government taking advances, printing more currency in this country. That does not solve an economic problem. I have said it times without number that a country like Nigeria, with the kind of resources we have, we should be able to be self-sufficient in almost everything any other country in the world will showcase. Unfortunately, we do not have that strategic planning that will model a developmental program for this developmental program for the economy of this country to move on. The rolling plans are not allowed to work, or they are not even there. A country like Nigeria needs to have in its statistics what is the number of industries that are working. What is the number of industry we expect to create? What are the sources of revenue for this country apart from the oil that we know? What are we doing with the informal sector? If you go to countries that have advanced in their economies, they strategize and make serious plans. We do not do that. We rely mostly on this oil. And oil, what it does to us, it creates corruption. So with the coming of this administration, the Mr. President came with a bold and encouraging decisions, which I believe, yes, it will create kind of hardship because it's not going to be business as usual. The few people that are collecting from subsidies will not be enjoying the subsidy anymore. The leakages we are having here and there, he is creating avenues to block those leakages.
There is an issue about the cost of collecting revenue. Some federal agencies receive a percentage for revenue they collect on behalf of the federal government. Is this right?
What Mr. President is trying to do, what Mr. President has presented in his agenda for the renewed hope, Nigerians, no matter what we think, we must persevere and be patient. At the end of the day, it's going to work out. I give you a simple example of the single window Mr. President is trying to create in collecting revenue for this country. It's going to be digitalized. The issue of you giving me certain percentage as cost of collection, why are you giving me cost of collection? Am I not employed to do that job? Is it not part of my responsibilities to do that job? Am I a commission agent? Are we trying to make our agencies, our GOEs, commission agents for the federal government? So I welcome the idea Mr. President is initiating of a one single window. Look at Singapore. I've understudied the economy of Singapore. There is no place where you will see cost of collection. There is no place where you see certain percentage of revenue being collected not going into one single account. But in our case, GOEs, MDAs collect revenue and even keep until when we are doing our oversight and we call them. They will tell us, oh, we have the receipt. It is the Accountant General's office that have not printed the receipt for us. We are going to collect. We ask them to go and bring those receipts. They will bring a receipt with today's date. And you will tell me that you made payment as at when due. You have not. We are the ones that make those laws that gives these agencies and GOEs the opportunity to be taking money in the name of cost of collection. And I will call that the commission. But we are also responsible to Nigerians, and we are responsible to be accountable and transparent in our dealings. As such, my committee will sit and look at this, and whatever we think is the best in the interest of this country, if need be that we need to review all those and enact those laws that gives these agencies this antidote, we will do it for the good of this country. The economy of this country is the only hope that we have when it's strengthened, that we will have development, we will have unity, we will have peace, we will have security in this country.
One matter that has attracted a lot of criticisms from Nigerians for the 10th Senate is the passage of a bill that amended, the national anthem to revert to the old national anthem. The speed at which that bill was passed was unprecedented, and people have called it misplaced priorities. Do you agree?
Nigeria, we healthy, or we call it the national anthem, or you call it Arise, O Compatriots, or you call it I pledge to my country, or whatever nomenclature you call it the old national anthem or the new national anthem. The vision of Mr. President, from my understanding, is looking at how can we go back to those days that we have unity, where to those days that we unified this country. This country was so unified. To those days where you see the Aziks, Ahmadu Bello, Akintolas, Mbadues, Awolos, Tafawa Balewas, Aminu Kanos believe that there is a country. And for me, following a statement that one of my colleagues have done before, Comrade Shehu Sani, he has said it. National anthem, national pledge, constitution does not unite a country. What unites a country is where we have peace, unity, equity and justice. I believed in that. And from if you read the national anthem, the translation, the meaning, it's all about equity. It's all about justice. It's all about our tongues, different tribes. In Nigeria, we have more than 250 or 300 tribes. Let me make it clear. I don't care where you are coming from. I don't care the faith you belong. As far as you are a Nigerian, I know you are a Nigerian. And anywhere I will see you around the world, I have seen a brother. And that is the brotherhood the national anthem is also bringing. So for those in the other side to saying, oh, the change is unnecessary, the change is a misplaced priority, every administration comes with its own ways that it feels unifying and uniting a country is necessary. And we feel this is a way. And when you are talking about passing laws, sharp, quick, unprecedented, I don't understand by being unprecedented. The moment a law went through first reading, second reading, public hearing, and the committee reassemble, look at every clause of that law, and decided to pass it at the committee level, it goes to the plenary. The plenary, the Senate President will commit it to the committee of the whole. He will come back, He is no more the Senate president that will sit, because he's not an authoritarian. He's a Democrat. He will come back to chair a committee of the whole, where every individual will make his input. And after you make an input, he will put it to voice vote. If there is contention, he will put it to individual votes of yes or no. But if the voice vote is done and everything goes well, as long as there is quorum, it is a legislation that every member of the National Assembly have subscribed to. As far as I'm concerned, I have subscribed to the change. I welcome the change, and I hope that this change will bring that brotherhood for Nigeria.
That is all on the program this week. Do remember that you can get more updates from activities in the National Assembly on TVC News social media handles. Always remember that you can subscribe, like, follow, and share. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adeoye. See you next time.